Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming, and absolute pleasure to have you both here with us today. Maybe you could just start with a brief introduction to this incredible film. For people who don't know anything about it, how would you give us a brief synopsis of what we can expect?
This film is about a guy played by this guy. And his name is Julius, and he's a seemingly normal person working at a art museum with friends, with a girlfriend, and so on. On this day, he's supposed to bring his friends on a sailing tour. The colleagues at the museum. Things start to go in another direction as they are on their way to this boat, and we understand Julius is not. Julius is someone else than we thought.
And you've done shorts, you've done theatre. I believe this is your second feature. Is that right? So, what was the inspiration behind the story, and why did you decide this be the best one for your next film?
I heard this anecdote many years ago, which I kept in my mind because I thought it was so fascinating, about a guy who had a similar experience, who loved to tell stories, and he was a very complicated person that is really charismatic, but also quite troubled man. He stuck with me for years. At some point, I thought I'll try to write a script about this guy. So I started to build up a film around this person and making a portrait of the guy that I had in my head. I had never met him.
And for you, what was the appeal of playing Julius, and how did you kind of get into the character? How did you sort of try and understand, I guess, his motivations and how to play him?
Yeah, the special thing about Julius is that he is very flexible and how he behaves in certain situations and constellations. I try to to play him always very open, so that everything is kind of possible in the situation. And Jöns' way of shooting movie is we have very long takes, for example. So within one take, often there are many things happening, and the status of Julius is going high and down, and for me it was very challenging not to play too much, because it's always also a lot about reaction and then how he copes with those situations and that long takes, for example. It was very interesting. I know some people who are a little bit similar than Julius. Some features of his characters are also familiar with me, but not all. So when I first read the script, I was really fascinated by this character, because it's many things to be and to play.
And how did you know that he was the right person to take on this lead role? And how did you kind of work with him to try and develop the character and achieve the vision for the film?
We met we did a casting and session, and I felt that Moritz, he was perfect. He had a great energy. He had this nervosity, say somehow, and a complexity that because the character is somebody that you, as Moritz said, his status is like going up and down, and throughout the story, and he has to be able to transform a lot, So regarding this flexibility, so if you meet this person first, you will love him. You'll feel great being with him, and you'll notice his other sides after a while. So this was something that I was searching for, somebody who can transform like this, and everything that goes with the status issue, that how to show shame, for example, from this changing. And this was so great, and it was, I think it's hard to find actors who are just really believable, you know, were in the moment, and you really believe what they do, what they say, and this was you Moritz was just fantastic in this regard, I think.
A very specific story and character, but there's definitely some themes in there that I think everyone can kind of connect to, particularly in our contemporary era. If you think of things like social media, you know, that is kind of a medium in which it is all fake it till you make it, putting out a different persona. So what do you think your film has to say about that idea and how we're all kind of made to feel it's something we have to do? But is there something sinister beneath that, or are we going in the wrong direction by pushing people in that?
You're right. I think we all adapt a lot to situations and to the people that we meet. So we play these roles as well as Julius does, but he's of course much more extreme. I think you can read it. You can read him as a symbol of I don't know, modern man or something, and with the social medias and identity, and how your flexibility with your identity and how you build up an identity. For me, it's however, it's like more universal, and I think that the story could take place 100 years ago as well, actually.
Yeah, I think it's not about that much about pretending. It's also about struggling. Who am I, and how many am I, and how am I influenced by everything? So Julius is not some guy who's superficially trying to pretend something he isn't. He's somehow searching for identity, and this goes sometimes strange directions. But it's not because you mentioned social media. It's not about how he appears and looks. It's how he is struggling for some deeper meaning or identity, and that's what makes the film so universal, or so it has a big meaning, because it's always, I think you can, when you watch it, you can really connect to many aspects there.
And what do you ultimately hope people will take away from watching it?
Yeah, it's somehow it starts, and then after almost 2 hours it ends, and it doesn't have like a plot where somehow it's escalating or something. It's you look at him, I think it's kind of catchy, but it's not also entertaining. Afterwards, hopefully people think about how they are influenced by everything, and what are my own thoughts, and what am I repeating by others, for example, or transforming experience by others and making my own. And I think this is a very interesting aspect when you think about, who are you, and how are you influenced by everything.
I hope that if you go into the film open-minded, I hope that you will find yourself somehow in him from time to time. Not all the time maybe, but that's the way I feel. That's why I felt, I guess, that it was made sense to make the film, you know. So it's not about the freak, you know, but a human being and his existential struggle.
And finally, how does it feel to have your film here at Berlin Film Festival? And of course, people being able to watch it together on the big screen, especially after the last couple of years.
Great, so nice. It's so nice. I'm really happy about it, and it's kind of dead than it usually is here. You know, this year, or you know, at least if you compare to the before Corona. But I think it's a great honor, and it's a great choice to have the festival also, because it feels, I don't know if it's the case, but it feels like cinema is dying out, you know, because if there's no cinemas and everybody stay on their couches and watching Netflix, it will it might be hard to come back to, to get back. So I think it was a great choice, and I'm proud of being of us being part of this choice and this edition. So, and I'm so curious what the audience will think.
Yes, I think it's a very right decision to make this festival like present with audience, because we are longing for so long now to really have this experience. And for me, especially in this movie, I'm really curious about how the audience react in the movie, because this is so important when you watch it at your home. It's so different, and I think in this movie there are many situations where I'm very curious how the people will take it. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, indeed. Well, enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
sharing all that.
Thank you.